Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our refresher session for the English language. And it's always interesting to read all your chat comments. So, congratulations, Ashish. Such good news. It's nice to start the class with such a positive note. So, thank you for not just relying only on the sessions, but also doing your own homework, right? You also need to go prepare. So, good. Great news. I'm glad that you've been able to apply the strategies. So, good job. And for those of you who are preparing, you know what to do. So, I'm sure Ashish can share strategies and what he did, what was his game plan, right? Somebody said they are new. Vinay Kumar Chaturvedi, welcome. Anybody else new? Please let me know. Okay, so I'm slightly unwell today, so we might end the class earlier than usual. Dushyant said he did really well in last week's AIM, so I'm assuming it was quite easy, the difficulty level, right? We are going to look at questions from that day, from the AIM, obviously in today's session. Shilpi Tiwari, welcome. So anybody else, I'm sure the results have been declared and most of you who are eagerly waiting to know the results, know the results. So either ways, whether you got through or didn't get through, the objective is to, stay focused, right? I mean, we'll always have to, we'll have to look at failure as progress. The reason why I say that is because you'll be even more prepared, you'll be even more, serious about taking the exam the next time. Yes, Revati, awesome. So Revati also got through, fantastic. So a lot of people got through, that's nice to hear. Did Santosh also get through? I see a lot of Santosh. Congratulations for Santosh. Okay, he got clerk in UCO Bank. Okay, super. I missed that. Congratulations, Santosh. So please let us know, Santosh, Revati, Ashish, anybody else who has gone through, and you can feel free to get in touch with them, find out what they did different, what strategy did they apply, what worked for them, what didn't work for them, and I'd like you to kind of, it's always nice to hear from others, right? Because all of you are on the same boat, right? All of you are competing for the same exam. All of you have been given the same materials and resources, but some of you get through, some of you don't. Why is that the case? Why is there a gap? Right? There must be something that they do differently. So what is that? What is it that they do? So find out from them, and then you can take it from there. Yeah. So awesome. Great way to start the class. I have no idea, Karthik. We'll just have to wait and watch. With a whole load of changes happening, in the recent months, we'll just have to wait and watch. Yeah. Some you win, some you lose, Santosh. It's okay. Hey, Faisal. Good to see you. Okay, so shall we get started? I think for the AIMs, you guys had what? Fill in the blanks? What else did you have? I'm trying to recollect. I think there was a reading comprehension which was pretty easy. I think it was a story-based comprehension, so it was easy to follow. And Okay, as usual, Spot Theory. I think Spot Theory was the easiest. if you ask me. You know, as you read it, you know where the error is. It was that easy. So I haven't taken spot the error for today's session. We're going to look at closed passage though. You know, so I always feel closed passage is like a larger version of fill in the blanks, right? Both have to do with context. So yeah. And one more thing. Thank you, Ahuja, for that. And one more thing. There's a new segment that's been added, which is tips and tricks, where I've discussed a lot of concepts, okay? Concepts like word class, concepts like context clues, syllables, spellings is under vocabulary, how to skim and scan for reading comprehension, how to look at eliminating options quickly. So if you haven't gone through that, please go through that. It's very useful, especially to crack not just bank exams, any competitive exam, right? These are like I wouldn't say it's like speed maths. That's a completely different thing. I don't want to compare English with math, because it's apples to oranges, the comparison. I don't want to do that. But it is definitely something that you need to know. And if you know, I mean, knowledge is wealth, right? Information is wealth. So once you know it and you start applying it, then I'm sure it's going to be a little more easier for you to look at questions, right? You don't have to be scared of approaching a jumbled sentence or a reading comprehension. So please go through that. It's called tips and tricks. There are about, I think, 6 concepts that have been shared, and I've put up the video. Don't forget to go through that. Yeah, Rajeshwari, put the same question in the forum. I'll answer it there for you. Or even better, I've answered, a lot of new students have joined us recently, and this is the first question that they ask. So I already told them that I'm going to create a video around this question, because it's the most common question. I will do that, but meanwhile, you can always check out, I've already answered it in the forum. Just in the search field, just put how to prepare for English and you will get the answer. Okay? Okay, so I'm diving in. I'm going to share the PPT. Let's get started. Okay, the first question that we have is double blanks. Let's read. Prime Minister Narendra Modi dashed the jump in India's ranking as historic and said it was a dash of all-round and multi-sectorial reform push. So those who attempted the test, I'm sure you know the answers and you know the explanations, but I'd like for the rest of them to attempt this and tell what do you think is the answer. And as always, look for clues in the context, right? So what's the clue word in the context? So all of you unanimously say A. Anybody else has any other option? Nagini, were you there for the last session? We looked at, for the problem solving session, we looked at jumble sentence. Were you there? Huh? If you were not there, I hope all of you have subscribed to our YouTube channel, because we keep putting up videos, right? So you need to, what's jump? Oh, okay, you're giving me the clue word. No, that's not the clue word. Okay, maybe. One second. Okay, so yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. We will be releasing a lot of videos on specific question types, and the latest one that was released for English was jumble sentence. Please take a look at it. You'll have an idea. Nagini. So most of you have come back and said the clue word is jump. But the clue word, as Girish has rightly pointed out, is historic, not jump. Why? What is the meaning of historic in this context? Can somebody tell me quickly? Though all of you have given me the answer, Priyanka is saying option C. What do you think? what is the meaning of historic here? Can somebody explain to me quickly? Just tell me if historic is positive or negative. And what is the context, what is the meaning that historic is bringing in this context? I'm going to project the question back again. Don't worry about it, Elsie. We are in the first page. First question. Ancient, never happened before. Okay. Srivastava, you're looking at history. Ancient. Right? But historic means what? Something famous, something important, right? So that's what the context meaning is. Not even unexpected, Harshad. We're talking about, hey, India's ranking. So which means it's a positive thing that has happened, right? I can say never happened before, like most of you came back and said, or we are saying, something like, important happened. Something remarkable happened, right? So that is when we say, hey, this is historic, right? You can refer to a building or a monument as historic, like Taj Mahal is historic, right? It's so famous, it's so important. People all over the world travel to come and see this, one of the wonders of the world, right? I can also say that, somebody's behavior or act or something that they did can also be historic. So in the context, Prime Minister Narendra Modi dashed the jump in India's ranking as historic and said it was a dash of all-round and multi-sectorial reform push. So let's quickly look at this, though most of you have given me the answer. One or two of you have given me a different answer than option A, right? Most of you came back and said option A. What is the meaning of hailed? Hailed means, in the context again, hailed. Making history in positive sense, okay? Yeah, I'll take that, Vinay. What is the meaning of hailed, guys? Come on, you know this. Why are you taking so long to answer? Hailed means? Hello? Is anybody there? Happiness, to support, salute, all hail the king. Okay, hail Hitler. Okay, so basically, yeah, praising someone, yes, applaud, yeah, okay, good. So basically we're saying Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed the jump because something important happened, something remarkable happened, something that has never happened before happened. So congratulations, this is awesome, this is good news, right? So it is, I can even say acclaimed. Definitely I can't say rejected and declined, right? Option D and E are automatically ruled out because of historic, my clue word, right? So even if I take hailed, accepted or acclaimed, because all three are positive words, right? And accepted is not as effective as hailed or acclaimed, right? What is to acclaim? Acclaim means? Acclaim also means to praise publicly, right? So both these words fit in the first blank. Not really accepted. And even if you look at it, the second blank says and said it was a dash of all round and multi-sectorial reform push. So if I eliminate B saying, hey, accepted is not a very effective word, because Narendra Modi is just not accepting this historic fact. He's saying, hey, this is good news, this is awesome news. So he has to either hail it or acclaim it, right? Between A and C, then we only have to decide between the second blank, result and cause. So can somebody quickly explain to me, because Priya or Priyanka, somebody said option C as the answer, right? Just to clarify that, why are we taking result and not cause? Just apply logic and tell me the reason. Why most of you have chosen A Though all those who chose A, option A. Can you quickly tell me why not C? Let's see how your reasoning is. Why not C? Quickly. For the sake of Priya or Priyanka, whoever said option C. No, Girish and Rahul, you're saying A, you're still talking about blank 1. I'm talking about blank 2. Why is it result and not cause? Faisal says result as it was declared. Nagini. Yes. That is one logic. I'll accept Nagini's logic. Or something that has already happened. The general tense in the sentence is past tense. Great. And then, another logical reason is, yes, exactly, Sai Kiran. So, cause means what? Cause is the reason, right? The reason is all round and multi-sectorial reform push. Right? That is the reason. Because of this, the result that we are seeing is the jump in India's ranking. Hai na? Exactly, Pavani. That's why I can't say cause, Priya or Priyanka, whoever said option C, it has to be result. The jump is the result of the cause which is already there in the context. So I can't say cause of all round, right? That doesn't make sense. It's like saying reason of reason. Cause of cause. Yes, correct, Nagini. Yeah? Clear? So yes, most of you got option A correct, but for us to reason it, right? See, that's why I say when you approach fill in the blanks as a context, right? It's good to kind of not blindly go by, like most of you came back and said option A, probably because you took the test and you know that is the answer. But it's always good to reason out why the other options are incorrect, right? That's when you learn more. That's when concepts register. That's when you expand your knowledge on, okay, there are other clue words that I can fall back on. There's always logical reasoning that happens constantly, whatever the question type is, right? Don't look at English as a language. Look at English as where you can apply other aspects like logical reasoning. Yeah? Okay? Critical thinking. All of that. Okay. So let's move to the next one. The panel has decided to have a thorough dash at electoral reforms, delay in appointment of judges, and the problems in the public grievance dash mechanism. I have my options. Option A, attention satisfaction. Option B, examination elimination. Option C, study reforms. Option D, focus solution. Option E, look redressal. So, what is the answer? Look for clues in the context. There's always a clue, right? In the context. That's the beauty of context. Don't feel depressed, Anand. Boss, my dear boy, it's okay. Why E? Why E? What is the clue word in the context? Fast. Faisal says second option gives it away, redressal mechanism. Clue is public grievance, Harshad. What's redressal? What does that mean here in the context? Quickly, you know the answer. What is Grievance redressal. What is redressal is my question. Feedback. Okay. Yeah, some sort of, basically the grievance is the problem, right? The public's grievance means they have some problem, they have some complaint. So I have to set that right. Yes, Girish. To set something right, I need to make amends. I need to correct that. Solution maybe, yes. So you have an idea. So because of that public grievance, what is it saying? Second blank, delay in appointment of judges and the problems in the public grievance redressal mechanism, which means whatever they have as a system to address the public's grievances is not working. So we need to arrange a thorough something at electoral reforms, right? So in the second blank, let's look at our options. Our option says, see, solution also will go, right? What will not go is elimination, second blank, out. Reforms doesn't make sense, right? Reform, that's what we are saying. We have to look at this. How can you say public grievance reforms mechanism? Doesn't make sense. And definitely not satisfaction. So this is also out, right? So which means out of D and E for the first blank, Nilesh. Yeah, see, Nilesh, but must have been a typo from the team, whoever put the test, right? The thing is, have a through. See, this is something that you need to make out, Nilesh. Like when you read it, it's like spot the error, like a test for you in the fill in the blanks, right? It cannot be have a through at, no, look at all your options for the first blank, attention, examination, study, focus, look. Yeah, have a through examination, it has to be thorough, no? Have a thorough study, have a thorough, and focus itself means what? Redundant in meaning, right? One of the reasons why you will eliminate focus is, you can't say thorough focus, because focus itself is being very specific and thorough about what is it that you want to look at, right? So thorough focus is superfluous. Thorough look, right? I need to look at this particular aspect of electoral reform so that, yeah, I can take care of all these problems that are happening. That's why it is look. The panel has decided to have a thorough look at electoral reforms, delay in appointment of judges and the problems of public grievance redressal mechanism. Shraddha, why are you saying C? They don't want to, all of them are collocations, but we need the right ones, no? Just because these two words go together doesn't mean it will apply in this context, right? In this context, what do I need? They are going to take a look at this. These are the problematic areas. They're going to look into it. Look into it means what? It's again it's almost like a phrasal verb, like look into something. What is it? Whatever, I'm going to do research, I'm going to find out what the problem is, blah, blah, blah. Got it? Let's move on. So, what did we learn from this question? Yes, there are a lot of collocations. Thorough examination, thorough study, yes. Thorough attention, no. Thorough focus, no. Thorough look, yes. But in the context, what do I need? I need something where they're saying they're not going to study all of this. They're going to look at, it's already there. These are systems in place, but it's not working. So I need to see what is wrong with those systems. I need to look at it. Hey, Anand, we just finished addressing what redressal is, right? After all the explanation, you're not listening, which means you are distracted, which means you're doing something else. Parallelly, what is it that you're doing? Answer. All of us gave answer explanation for what redressal is. After everything is over, you're coming and asking, redressal means, ma'am? You tell me. Go back and look at the chat option. Pay attention. I'm not going to repeat myself. So, we're going to move to the next question. This year, the report -8 areas in which reforms were implemented in Delhi and Mumbai as dash to just 4 last year. Options. Option A, suspected focused. Option B, pursued, referred. Option C, recognized, opposed. Option D, oversaw, listened. Option E, detected, preferred. What's the answer and why? Right? Guys, understand, this session is not just about getting the answer. I don't want you to give me the answer, Giresh. Right? You may know the answer. Why is that the answer? That's what we're discussing here. So what's a clue word? This is an easy one actually, not a very difficult one. Arey yaar, he said net problem and all. Okay, fine, chalo. Redressal means you are trying to set something right. You're trying to provide a solution to a problem. You're going to address the situation. Okay? Because the reforms have to be reviewed. Huh? Oh, okay. You're giving explanation. No, Baba. Giresh, look at the context. What are you saying? You're saying something else. We refer the previous one, Priyanka. Kiran, report. Yes. So, we're talking about, exactly, Chinnu Varghese and Harshad, you got it right. That's almost like a collocation, right? We know that. And there is a difference. We're talking about, automatically in the context, there is a comparison, right? This year, last year. And there's numbers given. 8 areas in which reforms were implemented. And then we are saying, last year there was only 4. Right? So, Faisal, report may be a content word, but the clue is more to do with the comparison that's happening. Hai na? This year, last year. This year, 8 areas. Last year, 4 only. So, obviously, when comparison is happening, you can't say as, focus to, as, refer to, as, listen to, as, prefer to. As opposed to only has to come into place, right? Because there's a difference in what happened this year and what happened last year. So, Bhavani, it cannot be option A. Hai na? Why is it confusing, Surya? I thought this was the easiest one and then you are coming and saying it is confusing. Kyun? It is not confusing, no? Very clearly mentioned. Hai na? And then Pavan says detected, preferred. Why? Why, Baba? Why are you guys getting confused? These are, whatever I've underlined are your clue words. This year something happened, last year something happened. What is the difference? 8 areas. Yeah. No, Surya, what you need to understand is something contradictory happened when compared to this year and last year. So, as opposed to brings in that contradictory meaning. Why would you say preferred? When do you say prefer? When do you say prefer? Tell me. You tell me. I can say I prefer coffee to tea. It's a preference. It's a liking. Right? We are talking about a fact here. We're not talking about, hey, we're not talking about an opinion or a liking. Right? When I say I prefer, I'm not talking facts there. I'm saying this is my opinion, boss. I prefer coffee to tea. Just because I prefer it, it doesn't make it universal. Hai na? This is my opinion. We're not talking about opinion here. It is talking about report, content word. This is what the report states as facts. When I say facts, right? Got it? Yes, I can use preferred also in terms of bringing in a contrast, but preferred is not the right word in the context. No, we're not talking about a liking or a opinion. We're talking about a fact. The report has stated this. This is what happened. Okay? Use the most effective word. So when you're confused between two options, pick the most effective one, which will logically make sense and complete the meaning successfully. Okay, so the answer is option C. Yes, good. Got it? Are we all good? Let's move to the next one. A vigorous northeast monsoon dash in intensity over Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, dash heavy to very heavy rain at a few places and extremely heavy rain in isolated places. What are my options? Option A, rose giving, B, increased dropping, C, went down showering, D, scaled up delivering, E, declined pouring. Okay, so just tell me before you give me the answers. Before you give me the answers, just tell me what are the clue words, right? Sharmila and Girish, you always come and give me the options. Tell me quickly what the clue words in the context are and why did you choose that option? Arpana is differing from you guys saying it's option E actually. So you need to, let's brainstorm. Vigorous, Sharmila, heavy to very heavy rains, heavy rain, intensity and heavy rain, clue word. Okay, okay. Alright, so all of you give me clue words, fine. Good. Sorry, I missed out Surya's question. Ma'am, can you give me some example with the word opposed in the same context? In the same context, You mean give me an example of where opposed to is used in a different context? In the same context, opposed to only. So why would I give that as an example? I will give you an example of opposed to in another context. Right? What can I say? This piece of cloth is made of linen as opposed to cotton. It's a fact, right? I'm distinguishing, okay? Just to give you an example. Now let's get back. So all of you have come back and said, let's go to the context. So what will I quickly eliminate first? Because you guys have given me all the clue words, right? You said vigorous. Let's put down all the vigorous, heavy, very heavy rain, extremely heavy rain. You gave me all of that. So which means obviously something is increasing in intensity, no? So the first thing I will eliminate is what? Option E and option C, went down, declined, out. Yes. So whoever said yes, correct, Sharmila. Henna. So I have to choose between rose, increase and scaled up. Everything seems fine for the blank one, which means I have to decide in my second blank, right? So if I have to look at, what is the second blank saying? Dash, heavy to heavy. Delivering, dropping, giving. What would be the most? Dropping definitely doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make logical sense. I will eliminate B. I have to choose between A and D. What will it be? Would it be delivering or giving? A vigorous northeast monsoon rose. Again, another word for you to keep in mind. Rose is a past tense of rise. Right? Yes. So, would that be a more effective word? You're getting what I'm saying, right? We are deciding between, we're looking at the second blank. So what is the difference between giving and delivering, if we have to figure it out? Are you with me, guys? We are trying to figure out what is the most effective word, right? See, rise will apply because rise also means an increase in degree, right? So I can say, okay, why not rise? Right? So that's a possibility. So then we'll have to look between giving and delivering. So what will be the most effective word between giving and delivering? It should be rose up. Okay, Pavan says it should be rose up. No, Surya, that is not right. We cannot say dropping. Sorry, question. I will put the question. Yeah, a drop. When you say a drop in something, obviously you mean a decrease in something, है ना? Chandu, I'll answer your question in just a minute. So why Faisal? Why Faisal delivering? Why can't it be giving, boss? That is my question. I'm waiting. Delivering ingredients. Huh? Nobody is answering my question. Has anybody, because rain is not given, it is delivered by clouds. Gaurav, I like that. Sounds wrong. What give? Give sounds wrong. Okay. Again, we will only fall back on context. Okay. I'm just gonna show you, because there's not much difference between delivering and giving. Actually, if you ask me, it's even synonym in some contexts. I can interchange these words, in fact. But in this context, there's already the first clause, a vigorous northeast monsoon dash in intensity over Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, right? So because of that clue word vigorous, I don't know why most of you came back and said vigorous. Vigorous is a classic clue word in this context for the fact that you have to choose deliver. Why? Because if something is vigorous, as a result, right, the resultant action will be in line with, matching with how is it vigorous? Because of the heavy rains. Because of it. So it is, when I deliver something, it's like almost like promising to carry through what I said I would. So because the monsoon was vigorous, it has delivered heavy rains. If the monsoon was not vigorous, it would not have delivered heavy rains. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Yes, Sai Kiran, very good. Result of some action. That action word, that content word vigorous is your clue to choose deliver and not give. Though give sounds okay, chalta hai, it's not the most effective word, right? Are you getting the point, guys? You'll have to kind of look at context in a different ways, so you know that why this is the answer and not that one. Okay? So when I say he, like for example, you know, he delivered. He said he would do a fantastic presentation and he delivered. What do you mean by that? He told that, you know, which means he's confident. Maybe he has everything that needs for the presentation. And as he said, he delivered. So there is something as a base which is already establishing a foundation saying, because of this, this happened. That is why delivering is a most effective word and not giving. Ma'am, how to find clue words in sentence? Why, what, which, where. Ask questions, right? Ask questions. Intensity is another content word. Delivering lecture and giving lecture are same or different? It depends on the context, right? What are you trying to establish? You can give a speech, you can deliver a speech. In that sense, it's the same. It means the same. Why is it buffering? Is it okay now? Divya says okay now. Now fine. Kya hua? Kiran, too much, yeah. Chat language. Fine, as in 5N. Fine now. What all you guys come up with? Act. Lo, buffer shuru ho gaya. Buffering again. Why is it buffering, boss? It's fine, ma'am, now. Okay, chalo. Those of you who are buffering, thank you, Girish. Those of you who are buffering, please use the YouTube link. Okay, clear. People use fine instead of fine to save 0.1 seconds. Okay. Yeah, I'm saying now it's okay. We're just chatting, so it's okay. Smart students. Okay. So get it, Nagini? Intermittently. I like that word. So, what I'm trying to say is, deliver and give, depending on the context, will give us the same meaning. That's why I said it's synonym in nature sometimes, right? You can deliver a speech, you can give a speech. Both mean the same. But when somebody is saying, he delivered, meaning he said something, there is a foundation that he has already laid, and with that expectation, he met those expectations. He delivered according to what he said. That's another meaning, and that's the meaning this context is giving. Because the monsoon was vigorous, the result was very heavy rain, extremely heavy rain, blah, blah, blah. We're going to move to the next question. Okay. Oopsie. Kya hua? Okay, a mechanical engineer dash training Narendra joined Tata Steel. I hate this when there's no punctuation marks. I'm just going to add a punctuation here. A mechanical engineer dash. No. I think I put the punctuation wrong. Let me erase that. A mechanical engineer dash training. Narendra joined Tata Steel in 1988 after dash his management education from IIM Calcutta. Okay. Okay, wait. Sorry, while you guys give me the answer, what does Praveen Kumar have to say apart from this class? English subject 1, English subject, one question if you don't mind. Anyone can answer. Now, quant live session is not conducted by Rohit sir. I am very sorry for asking other than subject. Aha. Praveen. Anyone can answer, so please answer. So, the question is not directed at me, right? Okay. Because I don't want to answer that question. Replace anyone with no one, it seems. Faisal. Okay, so everybody said B. Why, Q, A or B? Who's that? Chinnu. What is the doubt? Why? I know, right, Surya? I completely agree. So sometimes we don't realize how much of meaning punctuation brings in a context. Otherwise, this sentence seems like a run-on sentence, which actually is a little confusing. Some of you came back and said option A, mechanical engineer in training. Narendra joined Tata Steel in 1988. How can he? Logic, boss. If he's in training, how can he join Tata Steel? And then you have after his management education from IIM Calcutta. Isn't that confusing? How can it be option A? And it says competing. What is he competing for? After completing his management, competing to compete, you guys are competing against each other to bag one job in the bank, right? That makes sense. Option A is completely illogical. Out. First I don't know, but second one fit in context. It is competing, Chino. Oh, you thought it was completing. See, this is another thing. I've always noticed this. This is an observation, okay? Most of us, because we're familiar with some words, like our mind registers a lot of words, right? That we come across on a daily basis. So when we read context, sometimes what happens when I've asked some of my students, you know, when I used to take classroom sessions, when I ask them to read stuff, they will say the word that they are familiar with and not the word that is there. Why? Because it's called subconscious reading, in the sense you assume that word to be the word that you know, but that's not the word. That's what happened with you, Chinu. Praveen, Nagini has the same question as yours. I can't believe I'm explaining this chat comment. See, Nagini's explained herself. Anyway, let's get back. B. Yes. So, after joining his management education from IIM Calcutta, doesn't make sense. After taking, again, doesn't make sense, right? He's not taking an exam. We're talking about he completed his degree. Khatam, ho gaya. A mechanical engineer by training, Narendra joined Tata Steel in 1988 after completing his management education from IIM Calcutta. B. That's it. Yeah? Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? We are good. Okay. So, let's quickly 100%. Okay, chalo. 100%. Okay. I don't know who said what. So far, for fill in the blanks itself, whatever it is, whether it's an easy one or a slightly complicated one, the idea is to see what I can learn from even eliminating wrong answer options, right? Why am I eliminating this option? You learn something, right? For example, delivered and giving, we learned something. Though it's synonym in nature in some contexts, deliver has a different meaning in another context, and that's the meaning that we applied in this context. So it's good to also look at why something is not the right fit, because you learn something out of it, and you can apply that later on some other context or in some other spot theater. Yes, Gaurav, what is it? Fast, type fast. Now, I'm going to move to the next question type. What is the next question type? Okay. Gaurav, you have 30 seconds. In that, 20 seconds is up. Only 10 seconds left. Somebody count with me. You can do this, Gaurav. Type fast. So what? What? After followed by past former. Hey Gaurav, didn't I just answer that question earlier? How to find clue words in sentences? You have to ask questions, Baba. What sort of a monsoon are we talking about? Vigorous monsoon. See, all my content words mostly will be clue words. When I say content words, I'll give you an example. Let me show you the question, right? For example, in this sentence itself, how is what word is describing the monsoon? What sort of a monsoon are we talking about? Vigorous is a content word because it's describing the monsoon, right? Intensity is another context clue word, because it's telling me to the degree in which the monsoon is again. Okay, heavy, most of my, I will not say most of my adjectives or but mostly your content words will be nouns, adjectives, because it will answer the question. What answers the question in word class, right? How to identify a noun and all, word class errors, I have always said what the word that answers the question who or what is a noun form. The word that describes the noun is a adjective. So most of your content words, which is adjectives, nouns, will be your clue words, right? So that's one way to identify. How do I identify clue words? Means you ask questions. Look for nouns, look for adjectives. Those are your clue words. Explain pouring and showering. There's a slight shower, right? Heavy shower, slight shower. So when you say heavy shower, slight shower, it talks about the intensity. Something is pouring cats and dogs means pouring means heavy only. There is no light in it, right, Praveen? Just to explain to you. Pouring, that word itself, something is pouring down, which means heavy. There is only one meaning to it. But shower, there can be a light shower, there can be a heavy shower, right? A light shower, in another word, is called a drizzle. It's just drizzling, which means it's not pouring. There's a light shower outside. I can't step out. In terms of rain context, I'm saying, to bring out the difference between pouring and showering. There's a heavy shower, which means it's pouring cats and dogs. Purunjida, Praveen. Surya, good, but showering can be both, depending on what adjective you are adding to showering, right? Light shower, heavy shower. Both are there. Okay, chalo, let's look at the next one. Raining cats and dogs. Okay, so we know what to do for, how many blanks are there? 5 blanks, huh? Hey, let's finish this quickly, because I'm hungry. Read the context, guys. I'm giving you 30 seconds. Read now. Time starts now. Read. So I'm going to. So the next question type obviously is closed passage, and for closed passage we always fall back on context, right? And as step 1 we skim the passage, so we have an idea what the context is about. It will help us identify the correct options, the associated words that will fit in this context. And we also always have to remember that there is always a clue, even for the third blank in the first line of the passage or the last line of the passage. So that's why context is very important when it comes to closed passage. Yeah. So keeping that in mind, I want you to start with doing a quick skim, and then we will brainstorm each of the blanks. I'm projecting the question for you. Closed test, closed passage, or whatever. So some of you have come back with answers, right? We'll go blank by blank. Blank 1. Let's read the context. Culture describes a certain set of customs, ideas and social behavior of a group of similar people in a society. So we've just looking at the topic sentence, and if you've gone through the entire passage, you know that the context is culture itself, right? That's our content word. It's about that. And they are bringing various aspects to culture. Correct. So now let's focus on blank 1 and see what is the clue word in the context that is helping us pick the right answer option. So geographical borders usually dash cultures. Geographical borders usually dash cultures. So some of you are from Delhi, some of you are from Mumbai, some of you are from Kerala, some of you are from Chennai. So those geographical borders, right? And what is culture? First line says that, right? Culture describes a certain set of customs, ideas, social behavior of a group of similar people in a society. So which means the geographical border of each of these states are doing what to those cultures? My options: rotates, categorizes, groups, binding, segregate. What can be the most appropriate word or option? What is my clue for blank 1? What is the clue for blank 1, guys? Yes, Giresh. So what can be the answer? Definitely not rotates, right? Doesn't make sense. And illogical. Part C, groups. Binding, no, it doesn't bind. What does it do? Why is everybody saying B? So you'll have to choose between B and E. What is the difference between categorize and segregate? Can somebody quickly tell me, when would you say when I'm categorizing something? Think. I'm putting the context again for you. What is the other word for categorize? Categorize means to classify, right? Am I saying geographical borders usually classify cultures? No, we're saying it brings in that difference, right? What is the meaning of segregate? What is the meaning of segregate, guys? To set something apart, right? It distinguishes that particular group, that particular state, that particular culture. So the most effective word is segregate and not categorize. You're not putting the cultures into groups, right? You're saying geographical borders does something to the culture. What does it do? It segregates it because it distinguishes. This person is from this place, this is a culture that they follow, this is the tradition that they follow, these are the values that they hold, these are the ideas that they believe in, and this is the social behavior that they exhibit, right? So, our answer is option E, segregate. Exactly. Are you following? So, for the blank 1, the clue itself is geographical borders. Borders. Who said borders? Somebody said borders. That is correct. That is your clue. Geographical borders segregate the cultures, sets them apart, sets each culture apart, differentiates. Yes, let's move on. So some characteristics like language, religion, food, habits, social norms, music and art stay specific in one particular culture. Throughout the world, we have a variety of cultures. Cultures have been maintained from time dash and have been handled down from one generation to another. I think it's handed down. Okay, I'm not too sure. What is Chinu's question? Also, ma'am, both blank and word after can't be plural, right? Huh? Both blank and word after can't be plural, right? I'm not following. Let me go back. What are you saying? Okay, I didn't quite follow, Faisal and Chinu, I didn't quite follow your comment there. Ah, okay, okay. Okay, now I'm getting it, Chinu. You're talking in terms of subject-verb agreement, right? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Automatically you will eliminate option B if you apply subject-verb agreement. Good point, Chinu. In fact, right? We're talking about geographical borders, we're talking about a plural subject. So I don't need a singular verb categorizes. I need the plural verb segregate. Absolutely. Right? We anyway narrowed it down between B and E. So if you look at B and E, if I apply subject-verb agreement rule, borders segregate cultures, not borders categorizes cultures, because this is a singular verb. My subject is plural. Yes, very good. I like it. I like when you guys apply. No, no, no. Borders is plural, so the blank should be plural. This is a plural word, Baba. Segregate. That's what even you said. Okay, super, Faisal. Fantastic. Great minds think alike. Now let's focus on the second blank. What are my options for the second blank? Immemorial, ago, ages gone past. This is an easy one. You just have to apply collocations. Collocation. And what is the context explaining? What are your options? What options did you guys give for the second blank? Only Srivastava has said A. Chandu said, Chandu, is that for the previous question or for this question? Your answer. Yes. Neeraj says ago. Divya says ago. What is the collocation, guys? Arpana also and Renuka also says ago. Tell me a sentence with time ago. I want to know. Hey, that rhymed. Tell me a sentence with time ago. I want to know. Anyway, tell me a sentence. I'm curious. Time ago. Who said that was a collocation? Huh? From time immemorial. That is the collocation, boss. Immemorial means what? From very old, from past. Cultures have been maintained from time immemorial. Long time ago, this happened. That's different. Remember the preposition from? This happened long time ago, boss. Yes, time ago. But is there a preposition between that phrase time ago there? This happened a long time ago. Look at that phrase, a long time ago. There's a difference, right? There is no preposition. Here there's a preposition. Cultures have been maintained from time immemorial. Pay attention to the preposition there. Long. Yeah? So, let's go back to the context. So, from time immemorial, which means from a same thing. It's been there for ages. That's what it means basically. So, it is not ago, people. The expression is a long time ago. Yes, this is a collocation, but I can't apply it in this context. From time immemorial. This itself, the entire phrase is the collocation. Got it? Got it? What is this different, Surya? what it's different, ma'am? It's different, ma'am, matlab? Kya? I'm not getting what you're saying. Please explain. I'm going to move to the third blank while you take time to explain. Blank 3. Let's see. Continue. So, have been handed down from one generation to another. Okay. It helps people connect with each other and build communities within the same cultural backgrounds. Cultural dash of a particular community are preserved over time and get passed on to future generations. What are my options for blank 3? Affinity, technique, traits, validity, trademark. Good, Surya. So you learned something. This is a very, very known, well-established collocation from time immemorial. So we're talking about cultural something. So I need a noun form obviously, and all of my options are noun forms only. Of a particular way are preserved over. So what is a clue word here, guys? In the context, what's a clue word for you to identify the right answer option? I want the clue phrase from the context. Please, somebody tell me. No. No. Chinnu says preserved. Let me see who is giving me the right clue phrase. Particular community is the preserve. A distinguishing quality or characteristic preserved future generation, preserved over time. Yes, Kiran Kumar, I like you. Yes, something is getting passed on, right? That is one very important clue phrase for me. What can get passed on? And yeah, preserved also is a clue word, no doubt. So what can get passed on to future generation? Validity? Affinity? What is affinity? Somebody asked what is affinity. Affinity has different meanings, in fact, depending on the context, right? I have an affinity towards so and so, which means I kind of empathize with them, sympathize with them. My inclination is more towards them, right? So that's not the word here, right? Affinity cannot get passed on to future generations, and we need a plural noun number. So I will automatically eliminate option 2, technique. Let me put the question back. Are you guys following? Yeah. So liking cannot get passed on to future generations, as we've established that fact. So we will eliminate option A. Technique is a singular plural noun, singular noun number out, right? Traits. What are traits? Again, validity cannot get passed on to future generations. Trademark cannot get passed on to future generations. So that is your clue, guys. And that leaves us with option C. Traits. Cultural traits of a particular. What is a trait? Did somebody said? Affinity doesn't mean ability. Who said that? Traits means a specific quality, right? These are the traits of this person. This is how characteristics. You've heard characteristic traits, no? That's another collocation. I don't know why they say that. That's again superfluous in meaning for me, because traits itself means characteristics. Yeah. So cultural traits of a particular community are preserved over time and get passed on to future generations. So the ideas and the customs and the social behavior that we follow here in Tamil Nadu, right, in Chennai, gets passed on to future generations. Likewise, what you guys follow there in the north gets passed on to your generations, future generations. Hai na? So let's move to the fourth blank. It survives through dash of time. What are my options? Passage, led, currency, moves, flows. Logically, what can be the answer? What survives? The cultural traits. It survives through dash of time. This is an easy one. You cannot get this wrong. Yes, it has to be this because we're saying as time passes, as time goes, it survives. Yes, passage has to be that, right? It can't be led, it can't be currency, illogical, it can't be moves, it can't be flows, has to be passage. So this is the most easiest one. Hopefully all of you got this correct, whoever took the test, and nobody got this wrong. Right, last blank. So knowledge, traditions, language, scripts, dress codes, etc. are some of the traits that are unique to a particular region's culture. It is important as it defines our evolutionary identity. It helps us understand our ancestral what and gives us a very meaning of life. It helps us understand our ancestral what, house, understanding cultural values, utilizes. Again, an easy one, right? It helps us understand our ancestral, I need a noun form, applying word class. Shall we? Were you not there in the beginning? I thought I saw you in the beginning. Did you get disconnected? Absolutely, right? You can just close your eyes and select this. Fourth and fifth blank, very, very easy. Nobody should get this wrong. Right? Cultural, al suffix, it's in a adjective form, out. House doesn't make sense, though it's a noun form. Understanding, again, doesn't make, understand our ancestral understanding. What does that even mean? Utilizes is not in the noun form. Understand our ancestral values and gives us the very meaning of life. There you go. That's our answer, right? So, in the context, right, every blank, there is an obvious clue in the context. So we just need to look for that clue and we need to keep applying our strategies. What are some of the strategies we keep applying? We also apply a lot of grammar, right? We applied subject-verb agreement for one of those blanks because, what can I say? We were confused between two options, right? And that subject-verb agreement rule helped us decide. That's the like shortcut method of instead of breaking your head. Shortcut method. I have a plural subject. I need a plural verb. Bang. Finished. You got the answer. So we're constantly applying our basic knowledge of grammar in certain blanks. Yeah. The other thing is there's always a clue in the context. Understanding the meaning of the context, right? And then it becomes easy for us. So yes, I agree that I think the reason why I did not take Spothierus is because like super easy. Yeah. So okay, I think that's about it. Hold on, give me a second. Oops, sorry. There's some more, is it? Sorry guys, let's continue. So there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blanks. Let's do that. Let's read. So though our culture also makes us unique from other parts of the world, what makes it more interesting is amalgamation of dash cultures, which can be obtained through cultural integration. What are my options for blank 6? Alter, diverse, difference, inconsistent varieties. And what's this word amalgamation mean? So it's saying, though our culture also makes us unique from other parts of the world, what makes it more interesting is amalgamation of dash cultures, which can be obtained through cultural integration. So what is the clue in this context again? Some of you are saying option B, some of you are saying option E. I want you to apply logic. If you apply word class concept, amalgamate, yeah, bringing things together, yes, mix, result of combining, good. So combining of what cultures? I need the right adjective, yes, definitely. Difference is a noun, alter is a verb. I need a adjective. Varieties again is a noun. So yes, exactly, Saikiran. So are we saying we're going to bring in diverse cultures, or we're going to bring inconsistent cultures? It doesn't make sense, right? It has to be diverse. Different cultures which can be obtained through cultural integration. Absolutely. Are you getting it? Alter verb, difference noun, inconsistent, incorrect adjective, right? Varieties noun. So those who said option E, you will eliminate it based on word class. I need a word that describes the cultures, and the clue for us is we are mixing different cultures. Amalgamation is your content clue word. Remember I said adjectives, nouns are your clue words. Let's move on. Cultural integration is a dash of cultural exchange. Options. Cultural integration is a sword stone style symbolic form, which means I need a singular noun number here. What is my, again applying a little bit of grammar, right? Indefinite article a, which means I need a singular noun form and not a plural noun form. What are all my plural noun forms? A and C, out, sorts and styles, by. I have to choose between B, D and E. Cultural integration is a symbolic, again I need a noun form, right? Remember, one of the tips I keep saying is to identify a noun form is to also pay attention to the indefinite article, because articles precede nouns. So it cannot be symbolic, IC, suffix, this is an adjective, right? And cultural integration is a tone of cultural exchange, is just illogical. So which leaves us with is a form of culture, is a form of cultural exchange in which one group assumes the belief, practices and rituals of another group without sacrificing the characteristics of its own culture. Hey, kya hai Nagini? I have already given answer as character, ma'am. For what? I'm not following. Character for what, Baba? I'm a little confused. Okay, we're going to move on. 8th plank. Where are we? So while cultural syncretism carries a negative connotation, cultural integration is generally looked upon as positive because nothing is lost. Seen from this light, cultural integration is a healthy intermingling of the beliefs and rituals of two unique cultures. Therefore, cultural integration typically refers to cultural globalization. So you tell me what syncretism means, Chinu. Apply context clues. Synchronize. Have you heard that word? What is to synchronize? Syncretism. Apply a little bit of context clues and tell me what can it mean. Think. It's the same. Remember, there's always clues in the context, right? We're talking about mixing. Amalgamation is your clue. It's the same as syncretism. It means the same. Bringing together, the merging of something, all of these different beliefs and practices and rituals, right? While cultural syncretism carries a negative connotation, cultural integration is generally looked upon as positive because nothing is lost. Yeah? So where are we? We are looking at blank A. Therefore, cultural integration typically refers to cultural. Okay. Globalization is a process that includes the dash and integration of people, companies and governments of different nations. What are my options for blank 8? Commune, combine, represent, interaction, indication. Obviously here again apply word class, right? I have the definite article, the articles precede nouns. Commune, combine, represent are verb forms, out. I have to choose between interaction and indication. What is the most effective word logically to fit the context? Globalization is a process that includes the dash and integration of people and synonym hint word, which means I need to look at a word that is probably in sync with integration, which is interaction and not indication. We're not talking about a signal here. Interaction and integration of people. Yeah, makes sense? Companies and governments of different nations. Perfect. The globalization and integration of culture is also not indication, Arpita. That's why I said pay attention to the synonym hint word and my content word integration right after and, right? Which means I need a word that is in line with integration. That which is not indication, it is interaction. Integration, to bring together, how is that happening? Through interaction, right? When you interact, you integrate. When you integrate, interaction is happening. So these go hand in hand. Ninth one. The globalization and integration of culture is also dashed by cellular technology. What are my options? Assist, endured, aided, supports, off. The globalization and integration of culture is also dashed by cellular technology, which means this has already happened. Cellular technology has been a reason for the globalization and integration of culture. We need a past tense verb, right? Look at the amount of grammar that we are applying here. So what can it be? What can I quickly pick as my option? Is also, I'm looking for a word that says support. Okay. But I also have to keep in mind grammar, right? Because we're talking about a past tense, we're talking about, we already know that cellular technology has done this. That is the reason that has happened. Which means even though support is the right word, it's not in the right form. Out. Not off. We don't need a preposition there. We need a action verb. Not endured. Assist is not in the right form, though it carries the same meaning, right? Assist, A, C and D carry the same meaning, but unfortunately it's not in the right form. Aided, which is nothing but, if it was supported, yes, I might have considered option D, right? Ideally that shouldn't be the case because we need only one option. We can't have two options for the blank. So, the globalization and integration of culture is also aided by cellular technology, supported, assisted, where support and assist are not in the right form in the past. So, right, and to endure something means what? Praveen, you tell me. Haven't you heard this word? It's not a difficult word at all. To endure something means what? You know this word. You've heard people say this. You might have used it yourself. Something that, yeah, like, endure does not mean suffer, Baba. Endure means something that lasts long. I can say the pain and suffering endured, which means it went on and on forever, right? Endure means not pain. I can say the pain endured, which means it lasted for long. Yeah, don't get confused. So, suffer is a word that is predominantly associated with endure because suffering can be, long suffering. That's another word, right? When you say, something is long suffering, which means they had to go through or they had to endure that suffering or pain forever. and ever, right? The experience that they went through was, it didn't seem to end. That's what it means. Okay, so where were we? Last blank, let's finish this. So in the past, people around the world were unable to communicate, and interaction among people of different cultures was difficult. The use of information technology has increased the dash of communication between different cultures. What are my options for blank 10? Has increased the, again, word class, definite article, I need a noun form, productive, hampering, efficiency, lack form. The use of information technology has increased the dash of communication between different cultures. Obviously this sentence again, I need to look at context meaning, right? It's a positive context, which means I don't need negative words. I don't need hampering and lack. I don't need productive. It's not in the right form. It's in an adjective form, right? Between form and efficiency, what is it? Sai Kiran says form. Has increased the form of communication. We are talking about a positive meaning here, right, Sai? What has IT, what has use of information technology done for communication? It has increased the efficiency of communication, effectiveness of communication, not the form of communication. Yeah? Option answer is C. Increase the efficiency of something. Right? We are talking about the quality of something being effective. Right? And since it's a positive meaning context, we are saying, hey, this has helped the communication to a large extent. It has improved. It has, what do I say, increased the quality of something. Right? It has brought the desired result. That's what people are looking for. Got it? Why would you say lack, Anubra? Like I said, lack is a negative word. The context is a positive one. The use of information technology has increased the efficiency, not lack of communication. Again, you're getting confused. You're looking at collocation, lack of communication, but I can't apply that in context here, right? Increase the lack of communication means, are you saying that communication has gone down? That doesn't make sense, right? Hamper, stop, as an obstacle, hindrance. Of course, that's why we have other strategies. Grammar is only one strategy, Surya. I never said grammar is the only strategy for close passage. In fact, we've applied so many strategies for close passage, right? Grammar is always important, and it's always good to be strong in your grammar. That's why, because invariably you will end up applying that as a strategy, whether it's close passage or fill in the blanks or spot the error. Definitely spot the error, right? We have collocations, we have context clues, we have positive, negative meaning that the context brings in. These are all other strategies that we rely on, not just grammar. Grammar will help in some blanks. There might be a passage where you may not even apply grammar at all as a strategy. That's a different question. Got it? So, that brings us to the end of this session. The objective here again is, though we have, we are continuing to look at AIMs, right? I'm assuming you have your own doubts when you go through the videos, or when you are practicing, I'm sure most of you go online, you take up a lot of tests, so many sites are there, so much information available online. So please post questions, right? You can learn from the uploaded videos, Raj, Pradeep, definitely. There's a reason why they are there, right? The library is there for that purpose, very purpose. So please go through those videos. We can look at some sessions, live sessions for grammar, why not? I've done it in the past, we can do it again, not an issue. We can schedule something for that and we'll probably announce it so you can be a part of it. I'll take that. I'll discuss it with the team and we'll get back to you on that. But yeah, if that's something that a lot of people want, we can look at it. Absolutely. Okay, so yes, so keep practicing. What would I suggest after seeing these marks, Surya? Type in your strategy in the discussion forum. Let me see if you have the right strategy or not. We'll brainstorm there. Yeah? Okay. For such a easy paper, Faisal, I definitely would expect you to get close to 25. So, I'm not here to judge you, but I can guide you. That's not a good mark, if you ask me, because it was not a very difficult paper. Once again, hey, kaun hai? Shelvi, I have one doubt how to approach to study the English, whether I should read the grammar part and then go to the language or I can follow it as in video. No. Step 1, if your grammar is really poor, then you start with grammar. If your grammar is okay, you're strong in grammar, I only need exam specific strategies, you can start with. In fact, I would say start with tips and tricks. That's the new segment, right, that we've created. So start with tips and tricks, then you look at fill in the blanks and then just follow the other topics. Yeah? Dushyant, 28, huh? Too much. Sharmila, 27. Good job. I like it. Very nice. I'm happy for you if you're happy. I'm sad for you if you're sad. I share your feelings, whatever it is, right? And I'm here to guide you in terms of if you're getting low marks, and let's see what we can do together to help improve your marks, right? So get in touch with people who've cleared the exams. Please ask them what did they do differently. See if you can apply that as a strategy yourself. Yeah, and I'll continue to see you guys in the upcoming sessions. Have a nice evening. Take care. Bye-bye.